Girl, I use too much. What up guys, Ashley Elizabeth here with AHM Artistry, and today I am testing the Tarte Double Duty Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation. Yes, that's one product. I'll do a quick first impression, see how I like it, and I'll do a little wear test too to see if it stands up to the test of time. But basically what it is it's supposed to be a gel foundation that's super duper hydrating. And I just literally picked it up at Ulta during the 21 Days of Beauty, and I got this sucker for $27. Hello! I think it's normally $39, so a killer deal, and I've been wanting to get it for the last couple months, and I've had my eye on it, and I was like, perfect opportunity to go and grab it. And it is a hefty, hefty jar. Hefty, hefty, hefty. Oh, and it is just like this nice, thick, rich cream. A little bit about my skin type in case you don't know, I am super dry, especially going into the winter months, which may or may not show up here in SoCal, who knows, but I want to be prepared. So I'm testing out this foundation to see if it's great for my skin type, and maybe you can find out if it is good for yours. A little bit about this foundation off the Ulta's website says it's supposed to smooth my skin with a radiant full coverage formulation, wrapped in skin-loving ingredients, luxurious creamy gel formulation. Ooh. The unique oil-free blend is supposed to smooth, plump, and hydrate, as well as having pore refining ingredients. I mean, who doesn't love that? Allegedly, it's supposed to help brighten the skin and give a more dewy glow. It also says this cooling, hydrating gel formulation helps give skin like a drink of water. It's supposed to be that moisturizing, but I don't only want a moisturizer in my foundation, I want it to have full coverage. So it allegedly says it is full coverage, and we will see if it really is. It also says it's supposed to be a 12-hour wear. Now, I don't know if I can do that long of a test today. We will see how long I can do it. So enough jibber jabbing. You can always go to the website to read more about the claims and ingredients, but I want to show you how it performs for me. So let's get into it. So Tarte recommends, of course, using one of their brushes to apply this foundation for the best results, and it's called the Double Duty Foundation Brush with the spatula on the end. So I looked at their brush that they recommend in store, and it is almost identical to my Sigma F84 brush. So I will be using that today, so I don't have to buy a new brush for every single foundation I have, because Lord knows I have a drawer full of different foundations, and I have a ton of brushes too, and I don't need more. I've already prepped my skin, of course, with my moisturizers and my primers, and just so you know, I use the Smashbox Original Primer because it had the closest ingredients to this foundation. You always want to make sure that your primers and foundations blend seamlessly so they don't create any kind of slippage, and we can go over that in another video if you'd like. So I picked up the shade Light Sand, and that is the only time that I have ever touched this product, is actually just swatching it for the color. Anybody else hang on to the little guys for a little while and make sure that you get every last drop in, and I don't throw it away until it's done? I do. And of course they recommend using a spatula. I'm gonna take it actually off the lid, because girl don't want to waste, and dot it just like I would any other foundation, because we want to give it a fair shot, right? Girl, I use too much. Ooh, let's just put that over there. Okay, yeah. Thick but gel-like, and watery but thick. Very interesting. Of course, this color always looks too light on camera, but when I swatched these in the store, it definitely had some oxidization, I would say. Some of the colors turned kind of orangey on me, so watch for that. If I'm already super yellow skin tone and everything turns orange on me, so I have to make sure I don't get anything with an orange base already, because it will be pumpkin face, and we all know I love pumpkins, but I don't want to be pumpkin face. So far my pores are very noticeable, which is odd. Kind of smells like a light paint smell. I see still a lot of pink coming through. It's not the most full coverage I've ever used by any means. Obviously it's very breathable. It doesn't really feel like I have anything on, but my pores are standing out way more than they ever are. If you can see everything up close. Let's see if it lets me layer a little bit more without getting crazy. So better with it layered, so it did layer nice. You have to be careful because the brush streaks show up a little bit more. This is with one layer, and that's with two, so maybe you can see a difference. Let's put a little bit more. And since it's from the same line, the Tarte Double Duty line, I'm going to go in with the Shape Tape. If you want to see how I liked that concealer versus the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer, go on and click that video either right up top or wait until the end to go and watch it. Okay, so the two blended together very nice, very seamlessly. So far, easy breezy. Made the foundation look a little bit nicer. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off my entire face and then give it my true judgment. Okay, now everything else is complete. So I took a really good look. I have to say my skin does look really healthy, really glowy, just very natural and nice. As far as coverage goes, I personally feel this is more of a medium to full. Like, it definitely seemed buildable, but I couldn't get over like the pore issue I was having. So maybe if I let it dry, layer it again, but like, who has time for that? If I want a full coverage, I want it to be one and done full coverage. As you can see, I have some redness peeking through already. The true testament for me is if a foundation is obviously too drying, then my nose will flake up and get really nasty and really gross. I will say my nose is not flaking or peeling or anything, and by now it usually would start getting kind of funky dunky. So that's really nice, this area, and then I get a really weird dry patch on the tip of my nose even if I exfoliate, and right now I'm not seeing it. So far I'm a happy camper with that. The only thing I do not like so far, and I don't understand it, is my pores are showing a lot more than they usually do. And maybe I'm just nitpicking. I mean, pores are there, pores exist, you can't make them go away. They claim to be pore minimizing, but I'm not getting that at all, unfortunately. So as far as fine lines go and everything like that, I think everything is looking really good, and like I said, very healthy and seamless. So I'm so far overall happy with it as probably a quick day-to-day foundation that is more healthy for my skin. It's kind of like if you've ever used the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, it's like that but on steroids. Like the Complexion Rescue is super light coverage, but it's that same kind of feel but in a jar for this one, and it's supposed to be healthy and have all the same benefits that the Complexion Rescue does. So I love the Complexion Rescue, and if this is a beefier version of that, then I'm all for it. So we'll have to do the wear test and see how it looks back in right before bed, and you guys can see for yourself the results. Okay you guys, so it's been about 7 or 8 hours. I just took a pretty good look at my skin, and it was looking good for like the first half. Like I was like, okay, this isn't so bad for a medium coverage, it ain't so bad. But taking a closer look at my skin, it is totally separating right here in that area, which is pretty disappointing. And I just don't love that it claims to be full coverage and it is pretty medium. So this side isn't separating as much, so I'm thinking maybe it's because I went in with a lot heavier hand on this side, so maybe go with very sparingly, and maybe that'll save from the separation. I'm also curious to try this with a beauty blender, because sometimes with those really moisturizing ones you get a more natural flush finish. But yeah, otherwise everything else still stands of what I said before. It's just you know, given some separation, which I don't love that. We'll have to get some further testing done and I will update you. So make sure to follow my social media accounts so you find out if it's something that I love long term or if this was a one and done type of product. Okay you guys, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that you learned a little something and you're more informed consumer. I hope that helped answer some of your questions about the Tarte Hybrid Gel Foundation. I'm not going to say the whole name because it is a bit ridiculous, but you know, it's the Hybrid Gel Foundation that's supposed to be moisturizing and blah blah blah. Before you guys leave down the rabbit hole, which is YouTube, and click on another video and video and video and video, and before you know it, your entire night is gone and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, just like Netflix does to us. Go down and click my subscribe button, please, pretty please. Every new subscriber, view, and share helps my channel out so much, and I can continue to create for you guys. And if you would like to see a tutorial on how to do this pull through braid, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Guys, have a great, lovely day.